In the day's other news, the World Trade Organization appealed to governments and companies to spread COVID vaccine production to the developing world. The agency's head said manufacturing doses in Africa and Latin America is vital to containing the pandemic. So far, Africa has less than 1% of the world's vaccine production capacity. Latin America has just 2%. President Biden today signed the new COVID Hate Crimes Act. It had passed Congress with bipartisan support after a spike in anti-Asian attacks. At a White House ceremony, the president spoke about fighting hate and not being complicit by failing to act.
Every time we're silent, every time we let hate flourish, we make a lie of who we are as a nation. I mean it literally.
One group tracking anti-Asian incidents in the U.S. reported more than 6,600 assaults since the pandemic began. New claims for unemployment benefits have hit a new low during the pandemic. The Labor Department says 444,000 Americans filed claims last week. That is down 34,000 from the previous week, and it continues a steady decline since the year began. The U.S. House of Representatives today approved nearly $2 billion to beef up security at the Capitol in the wake of the January 6th insurrection. The measure passed by a single vote, with most Republicans saying the bill was too expensive and unnecessary. Some liberal Democrats also voted against additional security. It includes new temporary fencing and a quick response force. Prospects for passage in the Senate, however, are unclear. Meanwhile, it's also unclear what the Senate will do about creating an independent commission to investigate the Capitol assault. The House approved it last night, but in the evenly divided Senate, Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is opposing the bill. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer accused GOP opponents today of kowtowing to former President Trump.
Even now, 5 months to the day after he left office, the Republican Party is still so terrified of Donald Trump that they are apparently willing to abandon the truth and the safety of our democracy on into the future.
In last night's House vote, 35 Republicans joined Democrats to back the bill. That came despite the opposition of their leader, Kevin McCarthy. He argued today there is no need for a commission.
You've got 2 committees in the Senate already doing their investigation. I believe in 2 weeks they'll already have their report back, even though Pelosi wasted all this time. You got the architect of the Capitol given $10 million to study what we need done here to protect it. And then you got the Justice Department, rightfully does a much better job than we could ever do.
The issue could come to a head in the Senate next week. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security, meanwhile, is closing 2 detention sites for migrants amid accusations of abuse and inhumane conditions. One is a jail in Massachusetts where there have been complaints of excessive force and overcrowding. The other is a Georgia facility where migrant women allege that a gynecologist performed unwanted procedures on them. Both sites are now under federal investigation. And on Wall Street today, stocks managed a rally after a 3-day slide. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 188 points to close at 34,084. The Nasdaq rose 236 points, nearly 2%, and the S&P 500 added 43, or 1%. Still to come on the NewsHour, how to execute the president's economic agenda with Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo. Why the demand for workers is prompting calls to grant legal status to undocumented immigrants. South Korea's foreign minister on the push to engage with the North over their nuclear program, plus much more.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.